Hey, so we're here to talk about Happy Crew. It's an organization that we really founded together. I'm Amy Mays, and I'm the head cheerleader of Happy Crew. I founded it in 2002. Right after that, these guys started being old enough to be able to participate, and we grabbed their friends, and all kinds of fun stuff happened. Happy Crew is for teenagers, and it aims to destigmatize mental health issues and end teen suicide. We had in our county over 2 school years, 8 suicides one year, 4 suicides the next year. Happy Crew was born because we decided, not on our watch. Cole and Meg jumped in and said, we are going to do something. Let's start with you, Meg, because you started meeting with kids at Einstein's. Why did you do that? What were you trying to accomplish?
At that point, I felt that Castle Rock, because that's kind of where we started out, was very vulnerable just because they had so many suicides within a couple months. And our cousins that lived down there, they were pretty affected by it, so we just decided to kind of go hang out with them, check in, make sure they're doing okay, but we didn't really talk about it a lot in general at the beginning. We just kind of started to make a safe space where they knew Cole and I, and then eventually it grew so that they were comfortable enough to be able to be vulnerable and open.
So you started with building specific community.
Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
I think what's interesting about the Happy Crew is, you talked about starting in 2002. We didn't start as the Happy Crew. We started as One the Good House. And what we did there was we engaged with teenagers like on a weekly basis. But we evolved from doing Battle of the Bands, in 2000s, and then we now, because of the suicides, because of the severe lack of mental health conversations, we stepped into that space and evolved to push forward to more vulnerability and more conversations about what it means to be sad and how to deal with pressures of life and suicidal thoughts. And so I think what's cool about the Happy Crew, just in its inception, began with a heart for teenagers and then meeting them where they're at. And we're continuing to do that today. I think community is especially a point where they need it.
Absolutely. So critical to start a space, a conversation, an accepting, authentic, vulnerable, happy, silly, fun place where you can just be who you are for the day. I mean, like, whatever you're feeling that day, you're valid. If you're coming in and you've had the best day ever or the worst day ever, you belong, you matter, and you're valid. And we celebrate with the people who are celebrating, we cry with the people who are crying, but we just get together. And what that looks like is Monday nights at our house, having dinner, talking about the high, the low, the stress level, talking about what's happening in your life. And then practicing some things like, how do you deal with anxiety? How do you help a friend deal with anxiety? How do you approach someone who you think may be suicidal? How do you own your own space and your own feelings and not look to other people to validate you, but just own yourself and be comfortable there? How do you help others without becoming codependent? We talk about all those things. And we have dinner, and it's so good. And the community that's been formed has really been remarkable. And now we have Middle Crew.
Similar aspects of Happy Crew, Monday Night High School kids, but focus on really just building community and trust and strength. And so we just do food, we play games, we have a lot of fun, and I've had vulnerable conversations with them. They all feel very safe and comfortable there. When anything arises, they all have each other's back, which is great, and it's really crazy to see that within kids who are really going through a lot of bullying and like that first kind of start of it, because it really picks up in high school, and that's kind of when it gets really scary. But being able to build that group for them to continuously move up through to high school into Happy Crew and have that safe space with that little group that they have helps them a lot feel more accepted where they are, because they're all so different in their own way. And it's crazy of how much these kids grow.
If I could ask you guys, what would your hope and dream be for Happy Crew in the next 10 years?
I think what we really need and what we're pushing for now is to establish a space, specifically Kako Coffee Shop, where they can come consistently, day in and day out. They want to be there after school. They've had a hard day. They can come. They want to do art. They can go. They can express themselves creatively, because there's a really healthy side to mental health. Once you get these tools to deal with these more maybe perceivably negative emotions, you need a platform to move into creativity, to move into freedom, to move into all these different things, which we give right now with the community and these kind of things. But I think that there's a whole nother level that we're trying to go to with Kako Coffee Shop, and I think that's the next step.
Kako coffee means what?
Kako is the Hawaiian word for inclusiveness. It means we, and I think that really encompasses what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring unique individuals together, to create together, to become a we.
And I mean, a big dream I know of ours is to be able to have like a counseling area on like the backside. So if kids needed to immediately go talk to someone, there would be someone available that was trained.
And absolutely, the counseling office is the heart of it, so that kids can have that access immediately.
Yeah, we're doing what we can in the present, focusing on the future, focusing on what we're going to be able to do. But yeah, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Woohoo! That's Happy Crew.